What do you mean? When don't you train? Alright everyone, welcome back to another Scotty Karate video. Today we're going to be going over a common concern people have on how often should you train. This is something getting into what you need to do and kind of just general outlines. Now, based on your needs, your goals, and what style of martial art you're in, this will change. But this is a just general overview so you can kind of build your regimen and build your life around this. Now, this is more geared towards people that have a regular life, a 8 to 5 job, maybe some kids, trying to figure out when they can put in training, make sure they get it in, and how much is too much. Is that even possible? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today on today's segment of. So, jumping in, let's go into what a normal training is for someone who's starting off. Well, if you've just started martial arts or you see someone coming in, it's very common for the first little bit, anyway, 6 months to a year, for people to be gung-ho about it. They jump in and they're going every day the school is open. They're going as often as they can. If they're open for multiple classes, they're going to the multiple classes. So they're there all the time. That's how you get the term dojo rat. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a gym rat. When you're always at the gym working out, you're always at the dojo too. Well, Scott, I'm not a dojo rat. I don't mean to be. But you're here 5 days a week. This is normal. And it does die off. You'd be surprised how many people start off their martial arts and they're going 5 days a week. Let's say your dojo's open that many times. They're there every single time the doors are open. They're helping out, they're staying late, they're very enthused, which isn't a bad thing. But this does die off. Most people don't keep up that level of intensity for very long. Usually a few months, maybe up to a year. All depends on the school, how much they're getting out of it, their personal life. Usually people that stick to the gym or to a dojo like this is usually lacking something at home that they're trying to make up for. It's a different video, but reality is they have more time available. They're wanting to fill that time. They're wanting to train. This is now a new passion, so they want to put everything they have into it. It's not a bad thing, but normally it does die off. You'll usually go down to around 2 days a week, depending on what your rank is, how often the classes are. Also, if your dojo only offers, say, 1 day a week that you have advanced training, for example, say you're a brown belt or black belt, well, that doesn't mean you should only be going to that one class. But everything else, when you should go, why you should go, how often, what's too much, is there too much? Well, kind of like your girlfriend's Facebook page. It's complicated. So, the average practitioner might do a martial art, go a couple times a week to the actual school and train. Then you want to strive to do that at home as well. Spend some time at home training. As I like to call doing your own thing, you know what I mean? But you do need to spend some time training at home. And this is normally what happens. You have students come in, they'll be coming to the dojo, they'll learn, they'll go home, and they'll work out. Even if it's simple punches and kicks, they'll do something. So you have to get used to the regiment and doing stuff at home. Home is part of it as well. Oh, so more is better. Thanks. Short video today, Scott. No, stop that. So the average person only trains around 2 days a week. They might do stuff at home. We'll get into that. But realistically, a couple days. And 2 or 3 days a week, honestly, for the average practitioner, is enough. It's probably good. They're getting enough training in that they're learning, they're growing, they're developing. But they're not overtrained to the point where they're not really remembering what they're doing and they're getting too much in. And depending on your life, what you're doing, that might be too much. So 2 or 3 days is probably the sweet spot for most people. Now, if you're trained to be a fighter, you're wanting to fight on the reg, such as you're being a boxer, you're wanting to go box, you're wanting to be an MMA, then no, 2 or 3 days isn't enough. those people usually spend multiple days, like 4 or 5 days a week, multiple classes. So they'll usually spend 4 or 5 hours a day training, realistically, off and on, all day, versus 1.5, like a regular practitioner. Yeah, your workouts, my warm-ups, yeah, bro! So this is the PSA announcement. Martial arts should not be the only thing you're doing in your day. I know some of you don't want to hear that, but it's true. To be a real martial artist, you need to be more well-balanced. Like I said, setting aside people that are actually doing this for a living, such as professional boxers, MMA fighters, you need to have other things in your life. You need to develop other ways. You shouldn't be sacrificing your home life. You shouldn't be sacrificing your job or school. You should not be sacrificing other hobbies and life experiences just for martial arts. You'll end up being one of those dojo rats that's always there and never has a life. And that's not something that you really want to settle for. So, for the average practitioner, 2 days a week, strive for 2 days a week. When you come to the dojo and you train, we teach you X moves, we build you up, we get you a little more further on your progression of your journey. That's not where it stops. You don't turn off as soon as you get out of the dojo, turn back on when you come back. You go home, you marinate on it. Go, okay, we went over this move, you grab there, you put that arm bar, okay. You work on things. Go home. If you have a partner or someone that can help you do those and you can kind of reenact them, go through the motions gently, then great. You can get more training at home. But if you don't, maybe all you can do, punches and kicks, right? Go through your kata. Kata is great for the sheer fact that you can do that anywhere. You want to do that at the grocery store when you have a moment? Do it. Whatever you want. But it is more training at home. Training happens at home. Learning happens at the dojo. That's a key factor that most people kind of either don't know, gloss over, or just don't care about. But it's very true. Real learning and progress happens at home. The actual learning of the martial art happens at the dojo. I also recommend going to the gym. So when you go to the gym, there's a couple things that you want to work on. Obviously based on your body type, your size, your weight, what martial art you're in. I would recommend 2 to 3 times a week. So add the gym in. It's something a lot of people forget and they pass over because they think they're getting enough workout at karate. Probably not. Might be getting a good cardio workout, but strength training? Not really. I mean, outside of the, every so often you have to do some knuckle push-ups or some squats or whatever. We're not talking enough to worry about. Workout. So, last thing we're going to talk about. This is a big one. And this is one that, especially if you're in a style that doesn't focus on, say, high kicks, you don't really think about. And that's stretching. So, when you start off each class, you get warmed up, you do your stretches. Usually they're minor stretches to help prevent injuries. Usually, most dojos don't go into extensive stretching, trying to develop flexibility. Usually they work on enough flexibility and warming up to prevent injuries. So if, say, you need to be able to do a high kick, you need to work on that. That's not something that happens overnight. You have to stretch. This you should work on daily. I will say you don't have to do it every day. Maybe 1 day a week you take off. But realistically, 6 days to 7 days a week. This is something, unlike muscle training, like going to the gym, you don't need 2 or 3 days for your muscles to recover. Recap. So if you're an average practitioner and you're wanting to train, 2 days a week is good. You might want to up it to, say, 3, depending on your activity level and your availability, but 2 is good. Next up, how often should you train at home? Again, I would recommend twice. You can do it every night if you want, but yet again, I don't want you to sacrifice your life as well. 2 times are going to be good, in addition to your training at the dojo. Next, gym time. 2 to 3 times a week. Last, stretching. you need to do this 6 to 7 times a week. Well, that's pretty much the video. What's your schedule look like? Are you able to get in more training? Is this something that you've already done? Do you have a different split that's working for you? I'd love to know about it. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know all your thoughts and ideas, and share it. If you want to know when my videos are out, please hit the notification bell. And as always, the more you train, easier the fight.